All right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a game between Fly and 120 going up against Fast and Fortitude. Fast spawning as the teal orc, Fortitude spawning as the teal human. Meanwhile, over here on the top right, we have Fly spawning as the blue orc, and over here on the top left, we have 120 spawning as the blue undead. First things first to talk about, if you guys have not heard, I hope you guys are enjoying this Microsoft game, as Microsoft Gaming has purchased or is currently in the process of buying Activision Blizzard. I don't know what that means for me. I don't know what that means for WarCraft 3. And if it changes anything at all. But yeah, if you guys haven't heard in the news, Microsoft is buying Activision Blizzard. Um, yeah, I'm still a little bit in shock trying to figure out what that's gonna mean. Maybe if there is this whole entire this new landscape for competitive gaming and esports. I originally thought that Blizzard and Activision was going to be the one to try and do it, try and make it successful. But it looked as though, the pandemic and things like that, um, things are going to go by when the shares are low. All right. Anyways, I already sold my shares of Activision Blizzard in protest, due to a lot of the changes that they were going through, before the pandemic. Yeah, before the pandemic, and apparently people play a lot of video games during a pandemic, and difficult to say if looking back, it's like when you're at the blackjack table, you're like, oh, I should have hit, oh, I should have stayed. No, no, you got to make information all decisions based on what you have at the time. And did they do a good job with Minecraft? No, I don't know. Minecraft is still relevant. Whether or not Warcraft 3 will still be relevant is a completely different issue, as we're looking at the human player, Romantitude, Fortitude, whatever you want to call him this time around, going after this rocket golem creep camp pretty quickly. All right, damage being done. Gonna go ahead and take that down, pick up True Shot Aura, and also that Tome of Intelligence +2, a very powerful item to give that Archmage some additional damage, not only for himself, but also the water elementals that are joining him. Now, in comes the Shadow Hunter. Quick Shadow Hunter attack right there. Are we going to get in some damage here? And we see a lot of harassment coming back across as the water elemental looking to rack up a bit of damage. Whole bunch of peasants being left behind to try and take on this forest troll high priest. Shadowhunter still back around, does have hex, but there is no one really coming over to support him. Maybe a grunt now coming off from the north. All right, this is a 2v2 fight, but it looks like two simultaneous one-on-one games happening right now. Farseer going up against the Death Knight. Spirit Wolf trying to take down the Death Knight here. Meanwhile, back across here, another quick hex from the Shadowhunter, try to rack up damage on that Archmage. Archmage able to break free, now trying to retreat back. Is starting to build a farm, but no sign of an Arcane Vault, as Microsoft gives a lot of support for AOV. And as far as I know, let's continue to take a look at that. If that is going to be the case, if Activision Blizzard, if they do support Warcraft 3, that would be absolutely amazing and great. Great to see what Warcraft 3 can bring to the table, as we're looking at the Shadowhunter now going after the Footman here. All right, Grunts and Footman engaging back and forth. Archmage nowhere nearby, as the Archmage has actually suffered quite a bit of damage and is now trying to keep his pacing just a little bit away. Meanwhile, a lot of militia now being called over here to try and put pressure. Low hit point Footman down to 68 hit points and quickly going to get hexed and taken down there. I do believe experience was given. Yeah, 40 experience given right there, as another Footman trying to retreat back, but another quick hex. All right, Shadowhunter with plenty of mana causing problems. And now 3 Footmen going up against 3 Grunts. That is just a very dangerous proposition. Meanwhile, back on the other side, Archmage looking to use double water elementals and militia to clear up this expansion and try and perhaps get up to level 3 as well. But a lot of damage is getting absorbed up by these water elementals here, as the forest troll trappers are no longer really afraid of any of these peasants, since they are no longer in militia form. Ogre Magi will get taken down. There it goes, as we're going to pick up a pendant of energy, the last bit of mana needed, as an expansion is now being set up here. Meanwhile, Grunts, large amount of Grunts now making their way over. Crota, can you stream a 4v4 game? I think I did stream a 4v4 game, or actually a 4v3 game. If you guys never saw that, I did stream a 4v3 game way back in the day. Witty and me and two other casters were going up against some pros in what casters versus pros. It's just a fun show match trying to take down to see if casters really knew what they were doing. And turns out having an additional player on your team really does make a very, very big difference. Coming back around, Footman trying to retreat back here. We're looking at the Farseer trying to continue to, well, engage here. We are going to be looking at Devotion Aura now picked up by that Farseer. So Archmage and, well, Archmage is, well, still very, very far away as the Shadow Hunter trying to engage, still sitting at level 1, 120, now sitting at level 2 onto that Death Knight. You casted West versus China. That is true. I have done that as well. Trying to remember those 4v4 matchups. Trying to keep up with the pacing. It's like a horse announcer trying to give detailed explanations, but, well, a lot more things going on in a WarCraft 3 match than in a horse race. Thank you for the follow, as we're looking at the Archmage and the Farseer now working together, pushing with True Shot Aura, Brilliance Aura, Devotion Aura, and, well, I guess that the 3 auras there, as the Footmen are now trying to chase back the other way. Footmen do not have defend, but this is a large push coming in from a level 3, level 2, going up against a level 2, and now a level 2 healing wave coming back across. Shadow Hunter having healing wave to support that Death Knight, but the Death Knight cannot support that Shadow Hunter at all, as the Shadow Hunter will be its own support. Death Knight comes in with the Death Coil for the save. Cryptfiend continuing to fight back around. Grunts need to be in that frontline spot. Voodoo Lounge in the front spot as well, as another healing wave does bounce around. Water Elemental trying to engage back as well. They're going to be absorbing quite a bit of damage. Headhunters off to the side, and the Footmen are quickly taking down that Voodoo Lounge, as a Tauren Chieftain now may be coming out onto the battlefield. Tauren Chieftain in that frontline spot could spell problems, as Endurance Aura first. All right, so we're looking at Fly opening up with Endurance Aura first instead of what I would have guaranteed to be a Stomp to try and finish things off here. Water Elemental does get taken down. We are looking at a Pit Lord second coming in from 120. All right, so Pit Lord second instead of a Lich. Very, very strong teams, yes, by both sides, as the Footman and now Archmage with Water Elementals trying to push on inside here. All right, a little bit of damage coming across. Archmage doesn't have that much mana, low on mana, but that is relatively deceptive. As you can see, he already has almost as much mana as he has hit points in terms of maximum. Shadow Hunter now going to go ahead and teleport back across. We may be looking at a couple of hexes going down as well, as we are looking at a Spirit Tower, Nerubian Tower, and the Halls of the Dead trying to fight back. Scroll of Speed quickly being used in order to head away. Footman able to back away here as the Water Elemental trying to add in some damage onto a couple of those ghouls. Low hit point Footman still wandering around here. Are we going to see the death of a ghoul? Yes, we are. Shadow Hunter is currently out, as the units are still trying to engage. Meanwhile, in the center portion, Death Knight and Pit Lord going to be trying to creep out this Rock Golem creep camp at the Mercenary camp here, trying to clean things up. There's just so many battles all across the map, and I guess this is Metaphysics' revenge for me not paying enough attention in the previous mini-map to see that there was a tower on the bottom right-hand side. All right, so gotta watch the mini-map here. All right, Headhunters, Farseer, Tauren Chieftain now trying to push their way through. Archmage doesn't have a second hero as of yet, as he's looking to back away. Coming back around, Tauren Chieftain trying to get Healing Wave to work, but does not come in for the save. Meanwhile, and we are looking at a level 3, level 2 pushing across here. Tauren Chieftain with Endurance or Spirit Walkers coming back around. They're going to try and engage. There's a large stomp across all of those peons there, as the Tauren Chieftain may be stuck in a little bit of a predicament. Archmage coming back around the other side does have a Scroll of Protection, as the Pit Lord now trying to dive on in, going after some of these units. So Scroll of Speed using for these hit and run tactics. Kodo Beast, however, not having anything in its belly, and this could be a little bit of a timed attack here as the Kodo Beast tries to get away. Death Coil onto a Headhunter in the time before the Scroll of Town portal finishes. Water Elemental looks like it may end up just feeding experience once more, and, well, at this point, Romantic Fortitude, or whatever you want to call him this week, is gonna be in a little bit of trouble. Paladin is the second hero. Archmage using Clarity Potions and Scroll of Regeneration, transferring the Pendant of Energy over and allowing the Clarity Potion and that Brilliance Aura to do more work, as we see that there is 3 bases to 2 right now. However, one of those bases is currently under distress, as the Spellbreakers may not be able to make it out. Footmen are already trying to get the Fed. Nice to see Twisted Metals again, by the way. Well, in a 4v4 match here with so much going on, rather difficult to keep track of everything, as the Spellbreakers now looking to retreat back. All right, Spellbreaker looking to test the waters here. Pit Lord going to go ahead and dive on in. Tauren Chieftain with Endurance Aura. That is a very fast attacking Pit Lord. Gloves of Haste, Endurance Aura, a lot of splash, a decent movement speed with the Unholy Aura and the movement speed aura. And those units are just moving around all so quickly, even though the auras are only at the level 1 variety right now. Coming back around, we see a Scroll of Town Portal coming in from the other side. Stomp trying to come in. A little bit of a pincer play as the units are diving on in. Scroll of Protection across the center here. Scroll of the Beast on the side here. We could have a Scroll of Protection across the Footman as well. As we're looking at an engagement here, a Holy Light into the center. Not quite sure what's happening. The Tauren Chieftain could be in a little bit of trouble. He's going to be able to back out and continue to fight as well. Tactical retreat is in order. 120 and Fly need to retreat here. Tauren Chieftain trying to retreat back. And there is the Shadow Hunter with that retreat. Are all the units going to be within range? I do believe so. Yes, they all Scroll of Town Portal back here. 49 supply and 58 supply going up against 46 supply and 42 supply. Fast and Fortitude having the Fast and Fortitude having the slight supply advantage there. For so head, yeah. Coming back through Archmage. Archmage, I'm going to look to pick up some items from the shop. Perhaps, yes, another potion of invulnerability. Paladin still with that pendant of energy. Should have plenty of opportunities to heal as the Archmage and Footman are now diving on into the Orc base of Fly. All right. Quick Voodoo Lounge has to be canceled there. Archmage and Water Elemental able to stop that in its track in no time flat. As we're still looking at the Archmage continuing this battle here. All right, Tauren Chieftain and, well, Shadow Hunter may try to land down a couple of... Nope, that is teal, not blue. Able to continue the pressure on the Fly's base. Fly is going to be in a bit of trouble. There's a quick ensnare, and that Grunt pretty much never had a chance. So far, continuing the fight. 42 supply here. Tauren Chieftain trying to lead the charge. Pit Lord in that front line spot is going to be difficult to take out, as we need an Orb of Fire to try and stop some of the heals from the level 3 Death Knight and also that Shadow Hunter. Quick, well, problem on to the Tauren Chieftain. Tauren Chieftain gets off a stomp and survives at 148 hit points. Scroll of Healing used just in time, coupled with the Obsidian Statue. Windrider trying to dive in after that, as the Tauren Chieftain seems to be doing okay so far. Tauren Chieftain in a little bit of trouble right here. Headhunter's trying to engage as well. This Tauren Chieftain does have a Ring of Regeneration, also coupled with that Healing Wave, able to stay alive here. And another tactical retreat is in order, as both sides losing home field advantage continually. And well, level 3 Tauren Chieftain lost in the fray. Level 3 Tauren Chieftain of Fast taken down. And we are now looking at an expansion attempt by Fly off at that 12 o'clock location. Arcane Vault was set up outside of the base as well. More healing will be in order, as there is only a handful of production buildings. Only 2 production buildings coming in from Fortitude so far, but still able to maintain a rather large army, even though it is not that dice versus Cantonese Flower Bridge. All right, thank you. All right, coming back around, a Tauren Chieftain and a Shadow Hunter going to continue to engage here. Are we going to see a Stomp getting thrown down as well? Thrown down as well. Tauren Chieftain just shy of level 3. Continuing the battle here, we're looking at the Paladin really wanting to get up to level 2 here. Farseer is going to try to take some experience as well, taking down some of those skeletal minions. Paladin should be able to get up to level 2 with no problem, finishing off the remainders of this creep camp. Paladin, is it going to go for... I can't quite tell what ability it's going to go for. It is, in fact, going to go for Devotion Aura, thereby making the Farseer's Devotion Aura completely unnecessary, or the Tauren Chieftain's Devotion Aura completely unnecessary now. Yeah. Flower Bridge, yeah. Coming back down to the south here, Pit Lord. I don't know, Twitch has been giving so many strikes out recently, but then again, Twitch wouldn't give out strikes. Maybe since I label this as not having to worry about language, they would give me a strike if I actually said in Cantonese Flower Bridge. Coming back around to the bottom left-hand side, there's that second Arcane Sanctum. I was wondering where the production was coming through, and Todd called you rude. Coming back around, look, his name's Fuck you. Anyways, coming back around, we are looking at a bunch of Crypt Fiends continuing to engage here. Obsidian Statues, Death Knight now going to hold use that Scroll of Town Portal to head back in to try and get in a little bit of support here. Where are they going to land? They're landing a little bit too far away from all of the action. They need to get themselves situated. Tauren Chieftain in the frontline spot, going to go ahead and land down a Stomp, and we see the transition into Blizzard, racking up quite a bit of damage. A quick Hex stops that Blizzard from dealing too much damage, as another Rain of Blizzard now coming down as well. All right, what's going to stop that? Archmage. Archmage continuing to battle up. There is another stomp right there, and some big damage coming across. Or Fortitude doing a great job allowing that Blizzard to just continuing to rain down here. And finally, a Hex goes down on that Archmage. Archmage wants to continue to battle it up, perhaps rack up a little bit more damage. Death Coil onto the Pit Lord to try and save him, as the Hex was just a little bit late, as more Blizzard still raining down. All right, Tauren Chieftain comes in with the stomp, but just outside of the range of the Archmage, as the Tauren Chieftain now could be in trouble. It does have a potion of healing and also the Ring of Regeneration, trying to come back around. Paladin needs to be careful as well, as we now see level 4 on that Farseer. Archmage low on mana, not having level 2 Brilliance Aura really starting to take a toll as the Tauren Chieftain tries to dive on in. More units falling on both sides. So many low hit point units, but all of those units are immune to magic, so that they're going to be difficult to take out. Farseer continuing to battle it up here. Headhunters could have problems as they go ahead and Scroll of Town Portal back as well. Coming back through Death Knight, Pit Lord coming in across here. We're looking at a bunch of Troll Berserkers making their way in down as well. Archmage going to pick up Scrolls of Regeneration and, well, heal up all of these very low hit point Spellbreakers once more. The Spellbreakers able to absorb up quite a bit of damage, and many of them not falling. Great job by Fortitude in order to keep many of his units alive across the board. Meanwhile, I believe, yeah, that is Regeneration. I can't... is it a healing salve, or is it, let's see. Nope, it is a Scroll of Regeneration. So Scroll of Regeneration being used even by the Orc army there, as it is much more efficient later on in the game if you're able to heal multiple units for that 100 gold, in addition to the fact that these Berserkers really don't have that many hit points. The Scroll of Regeneration nearly getting those units back up to full hit points. All right, continuing to fight their way through. We do see only 2 Priests here in this fight. Priests may be needed even more, as we're looking at, well, we're looking at 120 now pushing his way inside the base of Fast. Kodo Beast going to try and engage. Well, Berserker's now trying to retreat back here. Will they be able to fight freely, as we are going to be going into a bit of a pincer play? And now quickly 120 realizes the writing on the wall and says, you know what, I need to get out of here before I fight an extended 2v1 fight inside my opponent's base. Grant Koda can't get over it. Coming back on through, all of the majority of the major creep, or all the major creep camps in the middle portion of the map have already been crept out. Only the side creep camps are open and now. And what is going to happen with them? Are they going to, perhaps anyone going to try and take an expansion in the corner? That is actually very dangerous at this point in stage in the game, as soon as you elevate yourself over there, your opponent may be able to easily attack you or something that you currently treasure, and you don't want to leave your partner out to dry. Both sides trying to get into an engagement here. That wolf looking to back up. Is that a teal wolf or a blue? That is a teal wolf, even though it does look kind of bluish, as we're looking into an engagement here. All right, Pit Lord in that frontline spot. Pit Lord dealing quite a bit of damage. At fast movement speed would be even faster if the Tauren Chieftain and Death Knight was nearby. Meanwhile, where are the rest of the units here? Shadowhunter right there. Tauren Chieftain is sitting on level 1 Endurance Aura, getting very close to level 2. And if Fly does get to level 2 on that or level 2 Endurance Aura, that would be a big boost to the rest of the army. Meanwhile, the Archmage is still only sitting at level 3, and the Paladin's only sitting at level 2 as well. What is happening here? I had thought that Fortitude and Fast Wars had taken a bit of a lead, but that is no longer the case, as we're now looking at the Berserkers with 3-0 upgrades and plus 10 damage, coupled between True Shot Aura and that Kodo Beast. The Kodo Beast also has the improved War Drums, as we're getting into an engagement here. All right, Blizzard now raining down, trying to take down some of these buildings here, as the Death Knight now going to go ahead and engage. All right, a little bit of damage. All right, Archmage could be in trouble. Potion of Lesser Invulnerability quickly being used, as we're trying to focus down some of these units. Archmage quickly using the Scroll of Town Portal to head back out, as the Death Knight now trying to wander back over to try and support this off over here. Tauren Chief's going to perhaps try and engage, now going to be forced to back up fast, in a little bit of trouble. Quickly throws down a stomp to try and stop the Tauren Chieftain. Tauren Chieftain is now getting ensnared. Is he going to stomp? He gets a little bit of a delayed stomp as we see a Hex go down. Hex could go problem. Potion of Invulnerability used in time after a disenchant, as the Tauren Chieftain is low on hit points, but gets in a massive stomp across multiple units there. All right, how long is that stomp going to last? There goes another stomp. Potion of Healing. There goes another stomp as well. As the Tauren Chieftain tries to put their foot down, not much is happening, as now the Undead comes in from behind as well. Tauren Chieftain ends up getting saved, though, as the Kodo Beast unable to get anything inside its belly. Constant hit and run tactics. Archmage now trying to come back over on from the other side. Not quite sure why the positioning, why they actually walked over from that angle, as the units are now trying to retreat back. There's some more Blizzard raining down across all of these buildings as well, as the Crypt Fiend is trying to get away down to a couple lower hit points. Well, a quick burrow, Holy Light, however, finishes it off just in time. Archmage continuing to battle it up, trying to rain down Blizzard, take down some of these towers, as the hit and run tactics are really starting to take their toll, as the Spirit Tower now in a bit of trouble, and it will get taken down as well. Archmage still at level 3, Paladin just shy of level 3 as well, as the units are going to go ahead and regroup. All right, Scroll of Town Portal, perhaps to head back over to and with your partner would have been a good call there, and actually have a 2-on-1 fight. Spirit Wolves trying to test the waters once more, as the Archmage, well, picking up another Scroll of Town Portal perhaps. Is he? No. Yep. Another Scroll of Town Portal. No Scroll of Regeneration this time. 62 supply, as now it's going to be a 2-on-1 fight inside the Orc base of Fast until things turn around. All right. Tauren may need to try and turn back around. Are we going to see some stomps here, as the Tauren is in that frontline spot? Do we see Spirit Walkers? I don't see that many Spirit Walkers behind her. Tauren Chieftain getting ensnared. There's some Pulverized. There's some Blizzard back on the other side. Major damage, as the high ground advantage is going to make things difficult. Level 3 Tauren Chieftain falls, however, at the bottom of the valley there at the start, as the Tauren Chieftain here with plenty of survivability items should be able to stay alive. Archmage not having Orb of Fire really going to be the downfall here, as the Death Coils and the Healing Waves keeping the army alive so well. More fights getting underway. Tauren Chieftain and still low on hit points. Pit Lord once more gets healed back up, as the Tauren in the back line unable to really engage in on this fight here. Archmage trying to change things up, trying to change position in order to be able to rain down some of those blizzards, however getting too close to raiders and getting that damage consistently stopped. More fights getting underway here. All right, it looks as though a Fast and Fortitude are taking a bit too much damage here, and 120 and Fly are starting to take this, and that is gonna be the GG. A great game back and forth here between these two players. I'm not quite sure, is it? Come on. All right, it's not going to go to the end game screen until I actually hit quit mission. All right, so a great game right there. But ultimately, in the end, Fly and 120 originally off to a shaky start, still able to come out on top. Really surprised there was that Fortitude had the hero level advantage early on, getting level 3 on that Archmage, but really never went anywhere with it. As the game progressed and the Archmage stayed at level 3, it made me wonder what exactly, well, Fast and Fortitude were doing with their units, and how come it wasn't getting translated into hero levels. On the other hand, Fly and 120 able to consistently chip away at the larger army and get some experience to boot, and in the end was able to take the victory that way. Also, we saw how effective healing was from that Death Knight and that Shadow Hunter first. I really think if an Orb of Fire was used and kept on the Farseer and the Archmage, you could have been able to use that Orb of Fire debuff to prevent or reduce the amount of healing to really start taking down those frontline heroes. Anyways, a great game overall. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.